234 episodes into this epic journey that is the Pactum podcast. And we want to thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And we have a fantastic episode for you today. I'm Mike Grimes, and I am here with Pat Abendroth, but I'll get to him in just a moment. We want to thank you for being a part of the Pactumverse, and we'd encourage you, as always, to like, subscribe, and share the Pactum with a friend. It's a great way for others to find the Pactum and to be encouraged by our episodes. And before we get started today, we do have a sponsor. Today's sponsor is Reformation Heritage Books. We love Reformation Heritage Books, all the great resources they have over at their website, rhb.org. They have some new titles we want to make you aware of. Today, they have the 5th volume of Peter von Maastricht's big work of, I think it's going to be 7 volumes in total. Pat tried to lift it up with one hand on the previous episode. It's a big work. We want to encourage you to check that one out. Also, they have an Old Testament introduction by Michael Barrett, a great introduction for you if you're looking to learn more about the Old Testament and understand that. It's got pictures, so I'm all in for that. They also have Joel Beake's 2nd edition of Meet the Puritans. You can pre-order and get that reserved. Get that ordered, again, over at rhb.org. And while you're there, don't forget to enter the code PACTUM10, that's PACTUM10, for 10% off your order. So, as I mentioned, I am here with Pat Abendroth. I haven't introduced him yet because it's almost like he's a guest today on today's episode. But, Pat, welcome to the Pactum. Great to have you here.
Oh, thank you. I've been here before. Deja vu, all of these things.
This is going to be more like an interview type of episode on the Pactum. And the idea here is we've been doing the Pactum we're coming up on 5 years. It's been quite a while. And we may have some new listeners. We may have some old listeners. We have some that maybe have been around just a little while.
Several. And you said journey in the intro.
I did.
You know, they might not even know that we say things like that on purpose just to be, I don't know. Weird.
You know, as I've been thinking about the Pactum conference coming up, I've thought about where are the places I can drop some of these words. And see,
of course,
the people who laugh or give a little chuckle, they're the ones they've been around for a long time.
It's true. They know these things.
Yes. But all that to say, it's been quite a while since we started the Pactum. And hey, let's get a little look at the man behind the mirror, as it were. Pat
I'm getting
Abendroth.
uncomfortable, more and more uncomfortable.
Let's meet the one who is the brainchild, as it were, the one who is dreamt up, thought up, and is the one working and moving and shaking all things Pactum. So let's talk to you a little bit today and get to know you. Well,
I'm drinking some kind of green Gatorade in my Hebrew mug from
Israel. Yeah.
Aroma. I forgot it's called Aroma.
Yeah, Aroma.
So
that's right.
It's like Israeli Starbucks.
It is. All right.
What else do you want to know? So I'm drinking
I've got
green
a list
Gatorade
of questions.
Zero.
There you go. That's all we need to know.
All right, let's roll the show notes.
Let's do it. I've got a list of questions. We like to do questions here on the Pactum, obviously. But there's definitely more than 7.
Okay.
So usually we do 7, but let's take as much time as we need. Hey, this could even be 2 parts.
Mike, I'm working on my message for the Pactum conference. This will actually air after that, but I have 6 questions so far for my outline. And I know I just, it just can't be 6. So
you gotta get
somehow I've got to have at least 7. We'll see. Top 10 lists are good, but.
Oh, man. Okay. So tell us, let's start just getting to know you a little bit. What was your home life like? What was it like, Pat Abendroth, as a child growing up? What was your home life like?
I lived 3 miles from here, 9131 Tomahawk Boulevard, 68134. 572-1121, 402 area code. That's like all I remember, but close to here. So I drove by my elementary school on the way here, my middle school on the way here, and we're close to my high school. Home life, I thought home life was great. We had a little house. I didn't care. I thought it was a great house.
Yeah.
I was terrified of my father because he was terrifying. My dad died when I was 19, so it was a good kind of fear. He didn't hurt me.
Sure.
He would have hurt others who tried to hurt me.
Sure.
Great dad. Great mom. My mom was the kind of mom that all the other kids in the neighborhood wanted her to be their mom.
Oh, okay. Yep, that's awesome.
Super sweet, wise, could figure anything out, could make anything. We had so many weird animals, so many weird experiments. it was just awesome.
Weird animal. What kind of animals did you have?
Oh, I think my brother had an alligator for a while.
No way.
And we had newts. We didn't ever have eye of newt for any meals. But I mean, we had chickens. We rescued a robin one time that fell out of a tree.
No way.
She figured out how to, what to feed it. You have to put sand inside the food so it digests it, or all of the things.
Serious?
Oh yeah. The robin was cool. So the robin got older, and then my mom, we would try to let it go.
Yeah.
And it would fly all around, and then it would come back, and it would land on your head.
No.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Robbie the robin.
Robbie the robin.
So many, stray cats, dogs, mice. The list goes on and on.
This is already a fascinating look into your life.
I
right?
think it was awesome.
That's awesome.
So, brother's 9 years older. Mike, who's been on the Pactum more than we have. So Marcy is in the middle. She's 4 years older. We all got along. We all got along great.
Yeah.
No complaints really. It was just, we had a cabin. That was fun. Motorcycles, fireworks, guns, boats, whatever.
Were you the kid that was always on the go, never at home, just go, came home at dark at night kind of thing when you were younger? You strike me as that kind of kid, out on the bike, riding around the neighborhood.
You have to be home, when it gets dark.
Okay.
So yeah, out on the bike. Where'd you go today? We rode our bikes to Bellevue. It's like 30 miles away or something.
Kidding.
And I'd be getting in trouble, and I'd be like, "Well, you didn't tell me I couldn't go."
Right.
So yeah, that's true.
Man, I thought I was big stuff riding like 5 minutes from my house. I tell you, that's intense. So what about religious parts of your family?
Yeah,
you guys churchgoers?
Church every Sunday, every Wednesday, Lutheran church. It was, what's the ELCA is the liberal one. Mm-hmm. So it was ELCA, but it was too liberal for our particular church, so they broke away.
Oh, okay.
And went to some other one, not Missouri Synod, but some smaller one. So grew up believing the Bible was true, just didn't know what it said. But I've been confirmed, I've been sprinkled, I've had all the experiences.
You've done it all.
My dad didn't go to church that often.
Okay.
So I think my mom was a Christian. And once my dad died, then it was, okay, my mom started really growing. Let's go somewhere else.
Okay.
I think it was what my dad was comfortable with. So I think that's why she went. So anyway.
Fascinating. This is already fascinating, I think. This is
just talking about myself. So we do have to talk about the gospel sometime, right?
We will.
So I got converted as a college student because someone questioned, the legitimacy of my faith. Okay. So I'm thankful for that. So the Lord saved me. I'm grateful for that. Even my dad dying, instrumental in the whole thing, just because that was such a shakeup for our family. So my brother was converted shortly after that, and I was also. Separate circumstances. So we have to get that in.
Yes, we do.
There has to be something other than 9131 Tomahawk Boulevard.
Would you say, had you grown up assuming that you were a Christian to that point?
Without any doubt, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. Okay. And I'm thankful for what I learned. I can't blame the church for all the trouble. I don't think it was a very good church, but at the same time, the Lord sovereignly works. So
sure,
I'll take the blame for my own sin.
Yep, man. Okay, so what made you want to be a pastor then? With, alligators and robins and a wild life of animals.
I would never, ever, ever want to be a pastor. The pastor at my church growing up, they were nice enough people, but, they had to sing by themselves.
Yeah. They were doing the whole deal.
That I don't even know what they call that, but they're singing on their own, right? Responsive kind of singing. Yep. And how could they memorize all of these things? I could never imagine how they could do that. Never, ever would I want to be a pastor. So, but when I got saved as a college student in Lincoln, Nebraska, UNL, go Huskers. I just had to get that out there since you're an Iowa guy.
That's all right. I watched the games.
It's almost like I wanted to go to seminary right away because for wrong reasons.
Sure.
I was kind of angry. Why did I go? I went to church my whole life. I don't know anything. Now I'm reading Romans, studying Romans as a Bible study on campus, that kind of stuff. So I was applying to seminaries and thinking I should.
Serious?
Yeah, never ever wanting to be a pastor, but anyhow. And then eventually Molly said, we're not married yet, not engaged yet, but she's like, sure, I don't mind if you go to seminary as long as you never become a pastor. So, and I was okay with that. And then here we are. I don't know how long I've been a pastor, since 1990, in some form or another, probably since 1994. So
Wow. So 30 years at least.
I'm not going to tell why Molly didn't want me to be a pastor, but there's a whole story behind that too.
Okay. Wow. That's wild. So and then 31 years later, wow, of ministry. That's crazy. So let's talk then. You are a
I've
pastor,
never been so
obviously.
uncomfortable on a Pactum episode.
I say
in my
you seem a
life.
little unnerved. You're a little bit unsettled. It's okay. You're doing fine. This is good. Tell us a little bit about then what makes you tick. What is, let us know. Here you are. You do the Pactum thing. You're a pastor. What makes you tick? Explain to us.
I think maybe you should answer that question, and my family members can answer the question, because that's a hard one. Maybe let's talk about the gospel in a minute. Let's talk about ministry in a minute. But before we get there, I think I'm not a very balanced person. So to put it positive, so that's the negative. What makes me tick is I'm an extremist.
You are, yeah.
So let's say single-minded.
Okay.
I'm a single-minded kind of person. So it's not just cycling. It's got to be, let's have a coach. Let's do nutrition. Let's get the best equipment. Let's not just do that. Let's race.
Yeah.
Let's not race. Let's win. I like to turn everything else off and do kind of one thing.
Sure.
Which is good and it's bad. And before that, it was wakeboarding.
I'd say, what other sports has it been, right?
And then it's wakeboarding, and you have to figure out how to do it. And you're not. I like things that I'm not good at, and then to get good at them.
Okay.
So single-minded, we have to compete, and now we have to try to win. Growing up, it was BMX bikes. I played football and basketball because I was told I had to, because my big brother did. Still in counseling about that, Mike. No, he was good at those things and loved them. So my parents thought, well, good enough for him, good enough for the younger boy.
Right.
So I did them, but I didn't really like them. So
Yeah.
BMX, okay, I'm all in. Let's not just do this. Let's race. Let's become expert. Let's get as good as we can.
Right, yeah.
Not balanced, just all in.
You're all in.
So single-minded is a
Single-minded,
nice
that's a good
way
thing,
of
right? You
putting
won't be
it.
double-minded.
I do like it for my Christian life, because you put your hand to the plow and you don't turn back. You look to Christ, and you only look to Christ. So that's good. Ministry-wise, it can be a problem because I'm not a very good balanced pastor. Sunday's coming, got to preach, put the blinders on, turn everything off.
Great.
Pactum recording, not for this one because you're the one that prepared for it.
Right.
But turn everything off, got to get this done. So I need other people in my life. I need other pastors to help. I need my wife to help. I guess that's probably what makes me tick. Let's figure something out, even if it's hard, and then let's get as good as we possibly can at it.
Yeah. I would say that about you. Just from having served alongside you for 12, 13 years now, it's been encouraging to me to see that side of you in ministry, because I noticed, I think probably early on in ministry years together, how hard you work. Because there are some people that, it's just kind of like, whatever, they don't take it so serious. But
That's kind of you to say.
I'm serious, and people should know this about Pat Abendroth, how hard you work. So I think you're right, exactly. So that you put the blinders on and you go for it. But it's not just because you're not able to think of other things. I think it's because you care and you want it to be right and you want it to be done well, and so you go for it.
That's a positive spin. So I really appreciate that.
I think it's true.
And I'm lazy too, because it's all go, and then hit the wall, crash.
Sure, yeah.
So
hit the wall and crash. Do you crash on Sunday nights?
I crash on Sunday nights.
Is there another day of the week you crash?
Every day, probably. I'm just either all in or all not in, I guess.
Yeah, right.
So.
Okay, yeah. So tell us about the gospel then and how that makes you tick, because you mentioned that.
So I think maybe it's a similar kind of thing. So you figure out, okay, you're a Christian, you're all into the gospel, but then the more you grow, you figure out actually the whole Bible is gospel shaped, right?
Yeah.
It's not an afterthought. So you start to realize that, Moses spoke of him. And now you figure out everything's about the gospel. First importance, gospel for justification, gospel for sanctification, Romans 1, Romans 16. Jude says that Jesus saved them out of Egypt. All of a sudden, everything is Christ-centered, everything is gospel. So I think the single-mindedness thing actually helps there as well.
Yeah.
So I'm all about it, all in when it comes to these things.
Yep.
So I think in that sense, it's helpful. But I do admire other people who maybe are more balanced in their approach to things.
Sure.
Maybe I'm just not smart enough to be balanced and do the other things well. But the way I'm wired, I'll just blame that. Blame my parents or something.
Okay, you just said I'm not smart enough. And this is something people in the Pactum have probably picked up on this, that you frequently joke about not being smart. Why do you do that?
Because it's true.
I disagree.
I went to Omaha Northwest High School. Go Huskies. I don't think I read a book ever in my life, like ever, other than
Serious.
a G.I. Joe coloring book or something with Batman or something, until I went to college, and then I knew somehow I had to figure this out.
Yeah.
So late bloomer. Maybe that's why I have so many books now, and I'm so into reading now.
Right.
But in all seriousness, just not naturally gifted, not naturally smart. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But somehow, so the positive is, if I can figure it out, I think I can teach it to anybody.
Yeah, I've heard you say that.
So I'd like to be smarter. I don't know what my IQ is, but I know I didn't do very well on the ACT. So all of that to say, it's a blessing and a curse. I'm really thankful for smart friends. How about that?
Yes. Smart friends are a good thing, right?
They are a good thing.
Can learn and benefit from them and grow and be encouraged and spur us on, right? So here you are. How old are you now? You're
56.
56. Okay, so what would 56-year-old Pat tell the young Pat who, wanted to be a pastor, wanted to go to seminary and do all these things? What would you tell yourself?
Don't be a pastor. Whatever you do, don't be a pastor. I think it's Spurgeon who said, if you could do anything else, go ahead and do it. I think that's actually
I've heard you say that, and I've heard you tell people that.
Yeah, so I'm thankful that I did other things and made money and all that kind of stuff in sales before I went to seminary, because it helped me to realize I'm not going to do this for a career. It's because I would just meet my sales goals and quota and bonuses, and then I would just go home and study the Bible.
Sure,
so all this to say, don't be a pastor. All seriousness, I guess I'm thankful I am one. What else would I say? The Bible is about Jesus. Don't listen to about bad hermeneutics. The Pactum is true. The Pactum Salutis is true. And it should affect the way you read the whole Bible, because before the foundation of the world, it's Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, redemption. So that's pre-Genesis. I would say that to 22-year-old Pat. What else would I say? You should be more balanced in life. Don't start a podcast. I like to tell people a podcast and all this stuff, it's like getting a dog.
Yep.
Right? It seems like a great idea.
Great thing.
Super fun. You get the dog, and then you have to pay for the veterinary bills. You have to buy the food. You have to clean up after the dog. You have to walk the dog. You have to, oh man. But I do love my dog.
What's your dog's name?
Ozzy.
Oslin.
Technically, because it's a female.
Okay.
So
Oslin.
She's 15.
15. Wow.
And we had already picked the name. It was going to be Ozzy. We went to the pound, and they said they had Jack Russell puppies.
Okay.
So we raced. They opened up, and it's puppy day, like Friday.
Yep.
Okay, you go that direction. You go that direction. We had a whole plan for our kids because we need to get there first. So we wanted a female. They had 2 female Jack Russell puppies. We go in, sit down. They bring both of them in, and they're these 2 little black puppies. Adorable, of course, but I'm like, Jack Russell, my foot.
Yeah.
But you're getting one of them, regardless.
Yep.
Well, they were half Jack Russell, half Min Pin.
Oh, really?
So that's why they're black. So anyway, all of this to say, we were already committed to the name Ozzy. Dad got to name the dog. I wanted it to be Ozzy. It has a ring to it. And then the lady who helped us was super friendly. The lady at the pound. Yeah. And her dog's name was Ozzy.
No way.
It was like Ozzy
Providence.
And Ozzy Osbourne was hers.
Ozzy Osbourne.
And I thought that was pretty good. So.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyhow.
That's wild. Similar story to how we got our dog. It was a puppy day thing, and I was here at the church, and my wife and the kids, they got their first thing. Basically, text me a picture of them taking a dog home because I couldn't make it to help. But I was never a dog guy or an animal guy. And so they named the dog Curtis to win me over because of
Stephen Curtis Chapman. Now that makes sense.
And what's funny is now Curtis and I are best friends, and he won't leave me alone. So,
You're a dog guy.
Yeah, now I love most dogs. Most dogs.
How did we get off on that rabbit trail?
Because we're having fun here on the Pactum,
what
getting
would
to
we
know.
say to 22
Yes,
year old?
what you wouldn't say. What you would say to yourself, yeah.
Anything
else?
In God's providence, it all works. So you wouldn't want to do anything differently.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we want to thank you for listening to the Pactum. You are listening to the Pactum today, and we're talking with Pat Abendroth about his life, getting to know
all things Pat
and the Pactum.
Nobody
here.
loves Pat more than Pat.
Yes, and we do want to encourage you to check out our sponsor, Reformation Heritage Books, rhb.org. While you're there, enter the code Pactum10. You can get 10% off your order. Okay, Pat, we've got some more questions if you're up for it.
Sure.
Okay.
Speaking of books, though, and Reformation Heritage Books,
Mm-hmm.
I never thought it would get to the point where there's people, whether it's them or other publishers, they're sending us books.
Yes, they
They
are.
just send us books.
We just get books
I
in
still
the mail.
buy books. I buy books from them.
Yep.
But they send us books.
Yeah.
It's
You know what's
amazing.
funny? When you open one of the packages, this is the way I feel about it. When you open one of the packages that they send, it's a free book or a pre-release or something, it makes me want to go buy a book. And I'm weird that way. I get a free book, I'm like, ooh, I should buy one. I don't know.
It's like a drug deal.
It's a thing, right? Maybe that's why they do it.
Could be.
I'm onto their secrets. All right. So what's your biggest fear?
Biggest fear of failure, fear of failure, morally in my life and crashing and burning. I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
Fear of not being prepared. Right? It's like when you're in college and you have a bad dream that somehow you showed up late for the exam, or you didn't have your shoes on, or you didn't have your pants. Just these weird, like all these weird dreams you have because of deadlines.
Yeah.
Well, my whole life is like it's never
Your whole
stopped,
life.
and so it's a huge fear of not being prepared, not meeting the deadline, teaching the wrong thing, saying the wrong thing. And I know we all commit errors, and we're all works in progress.
Yeah.
But it's fear of not being ready. So
Yeah.
that's a big one.
Yeah. So what's something people don't know about you or probably don't know about you that would be interesting for our Pactumverse listeners to hear or find out?
I have no idea. What would it be? You tell me. What's some secret that you know about that other people don't know?
I don't know if I know any secrets that other people don't know.
People probably don't know, even church members probably don't know just how up and down I am. So Sunday morning, I've got my Sunday best on in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
So, and preaching wise, I want to be high energy. I want to be all in, whatever I could possibly do to communicate this truth to you.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Every Sunday. If I'm not excited about it, I haven't studied enough. I haven't figured it out.
Yep.
So I'm ready, all in, all polished, super high level, adrenalized. Sometimes when I'm wearing my sports band thing, my Whoop strap,
Yeah, your Whoop.
it thinks I did a workout.
Uh-huh.
But then I crash, and I don't just crash physically, mentally. So I'm a pretty up and down person.
Yeah.
People tend to not know that. They think I'm always happy.
Yeah, you're always happy,
I'm
you're always
always
up. Yeah.
up. I'm the opposite. It's highs and lows, again, not balanced.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably good because I think my preaching wouldn't be as good. I'm not saying it is good, but it wouldn't be as good because I would just always be like this. And
Yeah.
I'm a very steady person. Isn't this exciting?
Right. No, it's not.
Not at all. So it is what it is. I just live with it. But
Yeah. Well, you mentioned this could be an interesting, maybe an encouragement to some of the Pactumverse pastors because we love pastors here on the Pactum.
We do.
And you mentioned, you're excited when you're preaching and because you're studying and trying to find that thing you're excited about. Maybe talk a little bit about that because I know when I started preaching here at the church, you tried to encourage me you got to find that thing that gets you excited, gets you, oh, I can preach. Talk a little bit about that.
Yep. And the word I didn't mention just a second ago before we go there is just, is depression. I'm a pretty depressed person a lot of the time. And so I think, I guess I wanted to say that maybe to help pastors as well. It just is what it is.
Yeah. I think that's, nobody would guess that about you.
Yeah.
At all.
So super high highs, pretty low lows. and it just is what it is.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, preaching wise, and I think this would apply not just to pastors, it would apply to anybody.
Sure, yeah.
Even teaching a Bible study or leading a book discussion. I think for me, I have to find something that gives me oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And if I can't find something, I'm not going to make it up.
Right.
Maybe I need to look again. Because there's always going to be something in God's word that's cool, that's exciting,
Yes.
that strikes you, that moves you. And if I haven't found something like that, I know I'm not ready. But when I do find it,
That's when it gets exciting. Right?
I rub my hands together, even if I bump the microphone. So it changes everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and if you can find 3 of those things, for example, all the better. But if I'm following an outline, and let's say I have 3 points, because all sermons do, and I'm kidding. If I have 7 points or 10 points, there'd better at least be something, at least one of them, hopefully all of them.
Yeah.
But it's this aha kind of moment.
Yeah.
And I liken it to, when you find a great restaurant and you go maybe with friends or by yourself or something like that, and then you think, oh, I know my wife would love this.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't wait to take Molly to this restaurant because she's gonna love it.
Yes. Yeah.
That kind of thing.
It's that,
or
yeah.
your friends, wait till you taste this. It's kind of like that in preaching. Wait, do I have something for you to taste?
Yes. Yeah.
You are gonna think this is so cool. And
Yeah.
so that's one of the most important things for me in preaching.
Yeah. I think that's great. I've always appreciated that encouragement. And you're studying a passage, you're like, oh man, I don't know. And it's like when that happens, you're like, got it. I can do this.
Yeah. And if it doesn't happen, I'm probably going to pull out an old sermon because I need to do more work.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
sometimes I call it's not exactly the same. Cracking the code. I say that to just figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, okay, here's what I think the author under inspiration, so divine author and human author, I think here's what they were up to, if you will.
Yeah.
Cracking the code, but I got to find something cool.
Right. Yeah. So do you have a favorite book of the Bible?
Favorite book?
Thinking, preaching. All
like
this stuff
every
we're talking
preacher,
about.
Mike. Well, what am I going to say? My favorite book of the Bible is the one I'm preaching right now.
Right. Yes. I was going to say, is it Philippians? Because you just finished Philippians.
I actually think that's a good thing about pastors, because we tend to think, okay, this is like the coolest ever.
Right.
Because I'm preaching through John.
Yeah.
It's because it's what we're into.
Yes.
So I will say it's not Ecclesiastes. Just because there's kind of 2 schools of thought. Maybe there's more. There are. Ecclesiastes is mainly a positive book, or it's mainly a negative book.
Yeah.
Maybe a mixture. Maybe that's the third way. But I tend to read it, as some commentators do, as pretty negative. Yeah, life is worthless.
Yeah.
And then you die, kind of thing, which is why you need special revelation, which is why you need the gospel. But it's pretty dark, so I'm not a big fan of that book.
That was what you were preaching through when I came here on staff.
Seriously.
Yep. I stuck around.
It was dark, man.
It was dark.
Whoa.
I remember thinking, oh no.
I have a good friend who reads it more positively, so maybe I want him to be right, but I don't think he is. So, favorite book, one is actually Philippians. So, because it's been so instrumental. We did an episode on it.
Yes, we did. Yep.
Just keeping us focused as far as standing
Right.
firm, striving together for the progress of the gospel. That's a great one. I love preaching through gospel accounts.
Yeah.
In part because there's a lot of action. In part because it's about Jesus, in part because I think it's really cool to see Jesus engaging all different kinds of people.
Yeah.
Self-righteous people, distraught, broken people, just it runs the gamut.
Yeah, right.
And I think that's helpful because we engage all different kinds of people. So you don't even realize it. You're being trained in how to engage different kinds of people
Right.
with Jesus, learning from Jesus.
Yes. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think they're awesome.
Awesome. Do you have any Bible teachers that have been most influential in your life? Do you have any kind of that you've looked up to or learned from,
Sure.
or you appreciate more than others? Or
So early days, for sure, it was John MacArthur. I'm so thankful for the, verse by verse, week in and week out,
Yeah.
bold, not afraid, all of that, clear,
Yep.
lots of synonyms so that people can understand. So whether you're brand new or you're old in the faith, that you could learn from him if you wanted to.
Yeah.
So I really, really am thankful for that. Then you grow and realize that he doesn't know everything, and he makes mistakes,
Right.
and things like that. And so then you learn from that and think, okay, who else should I read? Who else should I learn from?
Yeah.
And so then you eventually figure out that covenant theology is true and right, and there's a covenant of works, and there's a covenant of grace and a covenant of redemption, and it's really good to remember all of those things when you're studying the Bible. So then it changes a bit.
Yeah.
I love preaching wise. I mean, what's not to love about Sinclair Ferguson's preaching?
You're right.
So it's not so much learning the theology of it, but the warm-hearted pastoral care. I'm super thankful for his influence. Thankful to have studied under him a little bit. Current authors that are really doing a great job. I just think of Herman Witzius. Kidding. Just kidding. Turretin. We should have him on as a guest
We
sometime.
should. Yeah, we should.
So I do like some of those old classics.
Yeah.
Super helpful. Writers today, John Fesco was my advisor for my dissertation. I chose him. He was my first request.
Yeah. Yep. I remember that.
Because I thought he was up on the issues and justification and covenant theology and a version that I appreciate and like and think is right and biblical. And then they told me yes. And I thought, oh no, what have I done?
What have I done?
Because he knows so much. But I read everything he writes. I'm thankful for him.
Yeah.
So maybe who else do we like, Mike?
I think that covers a large group, right?
The people we have who come and speak at the Pactum conferences are people who we are thankful for. We're just thinking of, David Van Drunen and John Fesco, this year Harrison Perkins, Michael Beck, some of these more younger up and coming guys.
Right. Yeah.
Next year Dennis Johnson's coming. I love his writing.
Yes.
On the older side of things.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Lots of guys.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So where are you headed theologically, maybe, and pastorally, ministry-wise? You see yourself moving anywhere?
I think we've arrived, Mike.
Okay.
I think
all right.
we have arrived, and we're just waiting to enter into the promised land. We're always learning things.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, I hope we're not headed anywhere different because I like where we are.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's good to say I was wrong when you need to say I was wrong, and we're going to keep growing and learning.
Yep.
I want to learn more about the doctrine of God as the doctrine of God relates to other doctrines.
Yeah.
I think we've said we're sorry about some of the things we used to say about the doctrine of God, and I say we literally, but we evangelicals have learned more about the importance of the immutability, about the deity of the Son and what that means, and the one will of God, not three wills.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm super thankful for that, and I'm seeing the need to continue to learn more about God and his ways as it would relate to other things. So let's keep learning for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm not looking for the next big thing.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for radical change when it comes to theology. I just want to get better at understanding the things that we do already know. The gospel, person and work of Christ, our great triune God.
Yeah.
I'm studying things even right now regarding the Pactum as the Pactum relates to the doctrine of God.
Yeah.
And by Pactum, I mean the Pactum Salutis, the covenant of redemption.
Yeah.
So keep learning these things.
So how do you go about that process? Maybe even what if there, some young pastor or someone who's like, I just really struggle. I read something and I'm like, oh, how do I learn more about that? What's your process for even, running across things or wanting to learn more about something? How do you go through that? How do you grow in those ways? How do you learn more? Is it just you pick up every book on the topic you can? What do you do for that?
That's a hard one. That's a big one. Sometimes it depends on. Sometimes you just know because you're plugged in enough to know that there's a debate going on, and so there's a debate regarding the doctrine of God. So who's leading the charge?
Yep.
I'm going to read this book on this side, and I'm going to read these books on the other side, and it's a fight, and I want to learn more about it. I don't want to be involved per se.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't know how. Maybe you pay attention to conferences and what the lectures are on and what people are talking about. quite honestly, what people are fighting about. Just go to X and
Yeah,
find
right.
out
Get online
what
and,
the
hey.
issues are. And then you've got to say, okay, where do I stand on these things?
Yeah.
So we look to authors that we trust. We look to authors that we trust who've gone before us. So that's a complicated issue, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't have a simple answer to the question.
Sure. Yeah.
But what does Turton have to say about this? And
Yeah.
what does Bavinck have to say about this? And what does Berkhoff have to say about this? And what does Calvin have to say about this? And what about the patristics and church fathers? And
Yeah. It's a lot of research, looking things up, trying to see what they all have to say about it, compiling that data.
there
working
is.
through
And
it.
you talk to friends, you talk to other pastors and say, okay, help me out with this. That goes a long way when somebody says, this is an excellent book on Christology. And the little Red Wellum book,
Yeah.
excellent because he's engaging a lot of these historical things, but it's accessible. And I think it's just helpful to kind of bring you up to speed. So I think one thing that's happened is recently we've seen debates regarding Trinity because some people who were influential taught us wrongly. So again, and by that we might say because it sounds like God has three wills. No, God only has one will. And when Jesus says, not my will, but your will be done, we have to distinguish and say he's speaking in accordance with his humanity, not his deity.
Right, yes.
And if we say deity, we're compromising not only the Trinity, but we're compromising Christology. So,
Yes, right.
so there's been a lot of debate about the Trinity, which has been helpful, recent, not reinventing things, but recovering things.
Yeah.
That's been helpful. Well, guess what's going to come next? It's going to be Christology.
Christology. Yeah.
What's next? I don't know. Maybe Holy Spirit.
Yeah,
There's always going to be something.
Yes. Yeah.
And you just have to do some work and be willing to say, I was wrong about that.
Yeah, right. That's good. Do you have people then, you've mentioned a lot of names, authors and people. Do you have people that you look up to and why?
No, it's just me.
You're up at the top and we look to you and you look down to us. No.
I think it's everybody has their strengths. So, and I do like to say, meet your heroes because you're going to find out, oh, that person, I love their books. They're so good. And then I meet them and I guess, they're not perfect.
Right.
So that is helpful. Who do I look up to? I mean, here's what you do. You figure out an author that you like early on and you figure out who they like. Say, okay, here's who I trust. It even happens with Christians. Somebody comes to Omaha Bible Church and the teaching resonates with them. It makes sense to them. And then they say, well, I want to learn more about X.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you have a resource? And we say, okay, sure, I would recommend this. And then you're reading that resource and you're figuring out who they like.
Right.
And who they're footnoting and who they're referencing. I think that's just a good way to generally learn. I remember taking a class on covenant theology with Mike Horton and thinking this makes all the sense in the world. I read this when I was in seminary because I had to read Berkhoff and I had to read some other authors that would be similar. Where have you been all my life?
Right.
Okay, so this makes sense to me.
Yes.
So then it was, what else has he written? And is he a perfect person? Absolutely no. Do I agree with everything he's written? No. But I literally got on Amazon and bought every book he'd ever written because I thought, I trust him on this area. I need to learn more about what he says.
Right, yes.
And then it's who does he like?
Yes.
Sometimes that's hard to figure out because he's a scholar and he quotes people sometimes favorably that he himself doesn't even agree with in other areas. So it gets confusing sometimes. With him, at least, he's so smart. But then it's, I guess you're cross-pollinating is what we're doing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's helpful, I think. Who do you credit for all the success you've had in life? No, but you've done a lot of things. You've been able to achieve a lot ministry wise, but also you've written some books. I mean,
Sure.
Who do we credit with your success?
That's a funny question. We obviously, every good thing that we ever do or think of comes from our good Savior.
Yes.
So we would say that for sure, right?
Yeah.
Soli Deo Gloria. From a human perspective, I think the elders that have served alongside of me in church ministry, I can't give them enough credit or praise to God for how He uses them, because I mean, as you know, the elders that we have, you haven't known all of them, but they're anything but yes men.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes I wish they were more yes men, and they just said, okay, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And obviously over time, there's more trust that's
Yeah.
built. But it's been so helpful because they've supported me, they've questioned me, they've insisted that I be a leader of leaders. They've given me room to run, so to speak.
Yeah.
And yet there's accountability.
Yeah.
I just can't stress that enough. I'm so thankful. There's so many things that, from a human perspective, couldn't have gotten done. Even my silly, crazy single-mindedness, I am not good at everything, but I'll focus on preaching and teaching and mentoring. They've supported and helped because they do the other stuff.
Yep. Yep.
So I'm super grateful for pastoral staff and elders because my life and ministry would be a wreck if they didn't help, but also if they didn't encourage and push. So there's that. Obviously, my wife is a good sounding board and tells me when things are bad ideas.
Right.
We're grateful for that. So friends that listen, friends that give me pushback, I'm grateful for those things.
Yeah.
And I you think about people who pray for you. I wonder what that looks like if we could see it. The people that are, the stereotypical little old lady
Sure, yeah.
who faithfully prays. I don't know who does that and who doesn't do that. But even yesterday, I was working on a message, and just beating my head against the wall, couldn't really figure it out. And it just like clicked, and it all just made sense. And I thought, I wonder if somebody's praying for me.
Yeah, right.
And how the Lord uses that. It's mysterious. So credit to the people who pray, credit to the people who encourage. That's what I would say.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Just a couple more questions if
Okay.
you're there for it. So sometimes you like to poke the bear a little bit, maybe pick some fights.
Yes.
Why do you do that?
I blame my father.
Okay.
I came across a picture of my dad. I mentioned it to Mike the other day when we interviewed my
Yes,
brother.
you did, yeah.
And it's just a picture where you go, oh. I sent it to Mike,
Explains a
and I
lot.
said, we know where we get it from. So it's the German, I don't know what in us. Part of it's just my personality, I think. Part of it is part of it is I want to be careful how I say it. I do think in the Bible there's positive and negative, and there's a biblical precedent for disagreement and calling people out. And so I don't want to have a discernment ministry and
Right,
see
yeah,
how those
yeah.
things go.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when people are teaching something wrong and dangerous, it affects others, and it affects them in a really serious way.
Yeah.
And I'm a pastor, so I care.
Yes.
So I care that so-and-so is teaching some crazy thing, and they influence the people I'm shepherding
Yes.
because they see it on social media or they listen to them or whatever it might be. So I take those kinds of things seriously, and it makes me want to be a good shepherd and fight where fighting needs to be.
Yeah.
So I don't want to blame Jesus for my bad idiosyncratic kind of personality things,
Yeah.
but Jesus is very sweet and tender and kind and gentle with some kinds of people, and with other kinds of people, he's not that.
Yes.
So I'm at least trying to emulate, not saying I've succeeded.
Right. Yep.
But trying to do that. Also, I think it was Carl Truman who said something to the effect that I don't remember the quote, and I don't have his accent, so it's not going to sound very smart. But it had something to do with you'd better offend people in your life, because if you're not offending people in your life, you're probably, I'm trying to think of a nice on the podcast way to say it. There's probably a problem.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it.
I know. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Because, and I think it was in the context when he was criticizing some things that the Gospel Coalition was doing and calling out some carnality, and it got him in trouble.
Yeah. Right.
And so I think I admire that, because if everybody loves you, you're probably compromising. And so I don't want everybody to hate me, but I do want to be bold enough to say things that might get me in some trouble.
Sure.
Because I hope it's because I care. Because other people won't speak up maybe sometimes.
Yep.
So I guess that's why.
Yeah. No, I think that's true of you for sure. I think I've seen that, and I think that's exactly it. You care. I mean, there's souls at stake, right? I mean, it's a big deal. It's not just a whatever kind of thing.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. What do you want to be remembered for when it's all done?
Thanks for the memories. He was willing to say he was wrong. He was willing to say he's a sinner in need of a savior. Want to be remembered for, if this is the last podcast we ever do, that they treated the Bible as if it were a Christian book, because it is. It is about Christ. It is about perfect redemption found in Christ. Let's read the Bible with that in mind, and let's draw attention to that reality. That's what I want to be remembered for.
Yeah.
He understood the distinction between the law and the gospel. He was committed to justification by grace alone, through faith alone, in Christ alone. That the Bible should be preached, law should be preached, not compromised, and gospel should be preached, not compromised.
That's good. Those are good things to be remembered by.
That's why we do the Pactum.
That is good. That is awesome.
Thanks for doing this, Mike. It was awkward for me.
I think this is good.
You seem to like it.
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I mean, you were in the hot seat for real, and it was just good, though. I think, people will be encouraged to hear these things and know these things about you, the way you tick, what makes you, and the Pactum. And I think it'll be a big encouragement. So thanks for doing it for everybody. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for being a part of the Pactumverse. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube at the Pactum. Go ahead and like, subscribe, share that with a friend. Help others be encouraged by the Pactum and the episodes that we have there. You can also find us on X at the Pactum. You can find us on Instagram at the Pactum Theology. You can head over to our website, thepactum.org. Great resources there and all of our previous episodes. Also, you can be emailing us, connect@thepactum.org. We do want to thank our sponsor for today's episode, Reformation Heritage Books. Don't forget to head over there, rhb.org, and use the code Pactum10 for 10% off your order. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time on The Pactum.